You can fake a smile, you can fake a quote, but you can't fake presence. And when Deion Sanders stepped out beside Lil Wayne looking healthier, sharper, and calmer than anyone expected, he didn't say a word. He didn't need to, because the footage said everything. After weeks of swirling rumors, wild speculation, and whispers that Coach Prime was done, sick, or hiding, he surfaced with Lil Wayne, walking through the woods talking about snakes and smiling. That wasn't just a walk, it was a statement. And the haters, they weren't ready for what came next. Before this video surfaced, things were getting ugly. Deion Sanders had missed public events. He looked noticeably thinner in his last few appearances, and no one really knew what was going on. The media tiptoed, fans speculated, and the haters, they came running. Some said he was too sick to continue coaching. Others claimed this was karma for being too flashy, too confident, or too loud during his Colorado rise. They didn't care what the truth was, they just wanted a fall. Social media was filled with comments like, "He looks like he aged 20 years. This is sad, he's not coming back. Told y'all Prime was a flash in the pan." And that's what made the next moment so powerful. Then it dropped, a short clip, just a few seconds. No dramatic editing, no music. Just Deion Sanders and Lil Wayne walking calmly through a wooded area. Lil Wayne, casual as ever, talking about snakes, literal and metaphorical. Deion nodding, laughing, smiling, moving. And the caption, "Thank you, my brother. Love y'all, man." That's it. But that wasn't just a thank you. It was a message to the doubters, the critics, the whisperers. He was alive. He was alert. He was in control. And he wasn't alone. Here's where things get deeper. Why that moment? Why Lil Wayne? And why now? Let's break it down. Deion Sanders is a master of messaging. Everything he does is intentional. From the clothes to the captions to the cameos, nothing is random. So when he appears with Lil Wayne, it's not just a celebrity link-up, it's a signal. Lil Wayne is a cultural symbol of resilience, reinvention, and relevance, just like Prime, both icons in their fields, both criticized, counted out, and then resurrected bigger than ever. And the snake talk, let's not pretend that wasn't aimed at the haters. The clip shows them talking about snakes in the grass. And metaphorically, that's exactly what Prime's been dealing with. Backstabbers, gossipers, people who smile in his face and tear him down when he's not around. So walking, literally and metaphorically, through that snake territory, unbothered, smiling, isn't just poetic. It's strategic. Some viewers missed it, but if you look closely, Deion is not the same man from a few weeks ago. He looks stronger, more confident, less tired. His stride isn't fast, but it's firm. He's walking like a man who's been through something and made it out, and he's starting to show it publicly. That clip with Wayne wasn't a one-off. Days later, Deion shared another short video, this time with his son Shiloh. They're in the gym. Deion's moving slower, but he's grinding. The caption, "Every little step." He knows people are watching. He knows what they're saying. And instead of clapping back with words, he's letting the footage speak for him. Here's the pattern. Every time they count Deion Sanders out, he shows up. When they said he couldn't coach, he turned Colorado into a national story. When they said he was too flashy, he brought millions of eyes to a forgotten program. When they said he was done, he walked out beside Lil Wayne and smiled like he knew something they didn't, and maybe he does. Because while the haters are busy digging through footage to criticize every step, Prime is walking forward. Even if it's slow, even if it's subtle, he's still moving. And that alone is enough to scare them. Here's what you have to understand. Deion isn't reactive. He's surgical. When people blast him online, he doesn't fire back with tweets, he drops a video. When they question his health, he doesn't issue a press release. He walks next to Lil Wayne and lets the internet explode. When they say he's lost it, he lets them say it. Then he shows up. Quietly, powerfully, unbothered. This is what the greats do. They don't explain, they demonstrate. And this latest clip, it was Deion Sanders demonstrating that he's not done, not by a long shot. With the season fast approaching, all eyes are on Colorado. Will Prime be ready? Is he healthy enough to return to the sideline? We still don't have all the answers. But after that Lil Wayne moment, we do know one thing. Deion Sanders is not hiding. He's not shrinking. And he's not surrendering, he's recovering, he's regrouping, and he's responding in the most Deion way possible. This wasn't just a clip, it was a comeback, and not the loud, performative kind that gets headlines. It was quiet, simple, and real. Just two legends, walking, talking, smiling, and while some fans saw it as just a casual moment, the haters knew exactly what it meant. They just didn't want to admit it, because deep down they know the truth. You can't cancel confidence, you can't cancel energy, and you sure as hell can't cancel Coach Prime. Not now, not ever. Let's be clear, this didn't just happen. Deion Sanders doesn't randomly pop up with Lil Wayne after weeks of silence. This wasn't a coincidence caught on video. It was orchestrated, and the timing was everything. Just days before that footage dropped, sports blogs and fan pages were flooded with negative stories. Sanders won't make it to week 1. Colorado should prepare for life without Prime. Is the Coach Prime era over? Then boom, a short, calm video with one of the biggest names in hip-hop. Prime smiling, Wayne talking snakes, both looking unbothered. This was a checkmate moment. Not loud, not angry, just smooth and undeniable. And for someone like Prime, who's always played chess, not checkers, this was the opening move of a brand new game. Lil Wayne didn't just show up for vibes. He's been part of Deion's story for a while now. Back when Sanders first joined Colorado, Lil Wayne was one of the first celebrities to publicly support him. He performed live before Colorado's first home game under Prime. He's posted multiple times saying, "I ride for Coach Prime." So this isn't just PR, it's loyalty, it's brotherhood. And for viewers watching, the subliminal message is loud and clear. You may doubt me, but the culture never will. That matters, because when people outside the football world like artists, influencers, and icons rally behind you, it elevates your status. It sends a warning. This man isn't just a coach, he's a movement. Here's where things get genius. Most public figures hide weakness. They stay off camera, issue generic doing fine statements, and try to look untouchable. Deion, he lets the camera roll, even when he's moving slower, even when he's not 100%. And what happens? People relate to him more, because he's not pretending to be invincible, he's showing that strength and struggle can exist in the same moment. Ranars, he's walking, but not fast. Ranars, he's healing, but not hiding. Ranars, he's present, even if not fully back. This is how Prime flips the narrative. He makes vulnerability cool, he makes progress powerful, and he reminds fans that legends don't need to sprint, they just need to show up. For months, certain sports media personalities have been dying for a reason to turn on Prime. And why? Because he's too confident, too flashy, too unapologetic. Deion Sanders breaks every mold the traditional sports world loves. He doesn't play it safe. He doesn't follow the old school blueprint. And worst of all, he doesn't need their approval. So when he started missing events and looking frail, they pounced. Is he done? Should Colorado move on? Was this all hype? But instead of playing into it, Prime did something smarter. He let the media talk themselves into a corner. He let them speculate. And then he dropped the Lil Wayne footage. No press release, no sit-down interview, just a walk with a rapper in the woods. And just like that, the conversation flipped. There's a reason why so many fans, influencers, and celebrities have defended Prime, even when mainstream sports shows tried to tear him down. It's because culture recognizes authenticity. Deion Sanders doesn't fake it. He's not a marketing gimmick. He is what he says he is, and people feel that. That's why hip-hop backs him. That's why Black Twitter defends him. That's why even young fans who never saw him play ears bend under pressure. Deion Sanders stands taller in silence than most do with a microphone. Let's not ignore it. There are real concerns. Insiders close to the Colorado program confirmed that Prime has been dealing with ongoing circulation issues. He's had surgeries before. He's admitted publicly that he's facing challenges with mobility and leg health. But even when things are hard, he shows up. And that's what makes this comeback moment hit so hard. We didn't see a press conference about his struggles. We saw a moment, a real human, unfiltered moment. He wasn't trying to prove anything. He was just being. And that's sometimes more powerful than the biggest statement. Think about this. When has Deion Sanders ever tried to be perfect? Never. His entire brand is built on showing up exactly as he is. Flaws, flash, faith, and all. And this moment with Lil Wayne, it wasn't polished. It wasn't staged. It wasn't some Super Bowl ad. It was raw. It was human. And it worked. Because in the age of filters and fakes, authenticity wins. And Prime just reminded the world that you don't need to yell to shake the room. You just need to walk into it. Calm, quiet, and undeniable. Now let's talk football. What does all this mean for the Colorado Buffaloes heading into the new season? Simple. Deion is still in charge. He may not be 100%. He may not even coach every minute of every game. But make no mistake, this is still his team. Players are still locked in. Recruits are still signing. The brand is still growing. And fans, they're riding harder than ever. That's the magic of Prime. Even when he's down, he's not out. Even when he's quiet, he's still the loudest name in the room. Let's zoom out. Why does this keep happening? Why do people constantly bet against Deion Sanders? because they don't understand one thing. You can't measure Prime in traditional ways. He doesn't follow old-school logic. He doesn't play the respect game the way other coaches do. He's not interested in humble silence or fitting into some mold. And that scares people because if he succeeds, it changes the game. And change is uncomfortable, so haters will always doubt him until they can't. And with that clip, just 30 seconds of quiet confidence, he made sure they couldn't anymore. This wasn't a PR stunt. It wasn't a comeback tour. It wasn't even a warning shot. It was something stronger. It was presence, a walk, a smile, a brotherhood. No caption could say it better than the footage did. Coach Prime didn't shout back at the haters. He didn't explain, argue, or defend. He just showed up. And sometimes that's the most powerful thing a man can do. While the media tried to stir panic, the Colorado locker room told a different story. Behind closed doors, Coach Prime's players never stopped believing. Even during his absence, he remained in touch, FaceTiming players, sending messages, and watching practice film remotely. He wasn't disappearing. He was adapting. Players like Deion Sanders and Travis Hunter have repeatedly made it clear. Coach Prime is the culture. Everything we do starts with him. And when that footage with Lil Wayne dropped, it wasn't just a relief for fans. It was a spark inside the locker room. Some players reposted it with fire emojis. Others shared simple captions like, "He's back." Y'all forgot who Coach Prime is. Don't get too comfortable. That quiet video became fuel, because when your leader walks with confidence, even in recovery, it ignites something in the team that no speech ever could. Most coaches talk. They yell, motivate, inspire. But Deion, he leads differently. Even in silence, even while walking slowly beside a rapper in the woods, he commands attention, because leadership doesn't always roar. Sometimes it just shows up. And in that moment, Coach Prime was sending a message. I don't need to flex. I don't need to respond. My presence is my statement. That mindset trickles down to every player on the roster. It's why Colorado's team culture feels different than any other in the country. They're not just building plays, they're building identity. And Deion, without ever raising his voice, just reminded everyone who built it. Most college athletes are just chasing wins, but under Coach Prime, they're chasing something else too, legacy. He tells them constantly, you're not just playing football, you're building your name, your future, your brand. And that's not just talk. Players have seen their social media following skyrocket. Recruiters, sponsors, and cameras are paying attention in ways they never did before. Colorado games feel like events, not just games. So when Deion's health became a topic, it wasn't just about football. It was about the future of a movement. And when the footage dropped, it was more than relief. It was confirmation. The movement is still alive. The brand is still strong. And the coach still leading. Let's talk strategy. Most coaches let PR teams handle public perception, not Deion. He is his own media department. He controls the narrative. He picks when to speak and when to stay silent. He uses clips, visuals, and culture, not just pressers and sports radio. This clip with Lil Wayne wasn't posted on ESPN or Fox Sports. It was dropped casually on social media, where his audience lives. No fanfare, no warning, just presence. And then the world did the rest. Because Prime understands something most don't. The more authentic it feels, the more powerful it becomes. He doesn't need a headline. You don't have to be a Colorado fan to care about Deion Sanders, because Prime represents something far bigger than any one program. He's hope. He's perseverance. He's what it looks like to take hits and still shine. So when people saw that Lil Wayne footage, they didn't just see a coach on a walk. They saw a symbol of what it looks like to rise again. And for fans going through their own struggles, their own health battles, job losses, setbacks, that short clip was fuel. It reminded them, even when the world writes you off, you keep walking, one step at a time, one moment at a time, until the world catches up. It's not just Wayne. Coach Prime's circle includes everyone from LeBron James to Jay-Z, Offset to Snoop Dogg. They don't just post about him, they believe in him. And here's why that matters. When cultural titans back someone publicly, they're making a statement. We see this man. We believe in this mission. We're watching this unfold. It's why more artists are reaching out. Why more athletes are visiting Colorado. Why more kids from underserved neighborhoods are saying, I want to play for Prime. Because he's not just coaching, he's shifting the ecosystem. And this video, just another reminder that he still holds that power. Most people would hide a health issue, they'd go dark. Prime didn't. He turned it into a moment, a brand move. By walking through the woods, physically recovering, he showed two things. He's human, he's not done. And in that tension between vulnerability and defiance is where the brand of Prime lives. Because people don't fall in love with perfection, they fall in love with the fight. And Prime never stops fighting. There are plenty of smart coaches, but Deion brings something more dangerous to the table, emotional intelligence. He connects with his players as men, not just athletes, not just stats. He talks about fear, faith, fatherhood, finances, everything. And that's what makes this comeback so inspiring. Because they don't just want Prime back to win games. They want him back because he's family. And the Lil Wayne moment, it wasn't a comeback to football. It was a comeback to connection. A visual that said, I'm still here, and I still care. Egens don't fade. They regroup. They get quiet. They recover. They recalibrate. Then they re-emerge, calm, precise, and more powerful than before. That's what Prime is doing. And even if the walk was slow, even if his smile wasn't as big, he was still walking, still showing up, still preparing for the next move. Because real leaders don't need perfect timing. They just need presence. And Deion's presence is enough to shake the sports world even in silence. This wasn't just another celebrity cameo. This was a message from Prime to the haters, to the doubters, to the ones who are ready to close the book. I'm still writing this story, and with one quiet clip, no press, no lights, no podium, he flipped the script again, because legends don't yell, they just walk through the fire and come out with Lil Wayne. Let's talk impact. In today's college football, it's not just about winning games, it's about winning talent, and talent follows energy. Deion's comeback moment, walking with Lil Wayne, smiling through the whispers, isn't just inspiring, it's profitable. Here's how. Top recruits aren't just choosing programs based on tradition or rings anymore. They're looking at, and what other coach has the power to drop a viral clip with a Grammy-winning rapper, stir national headlines, and make it all feel authentic? None. Deion Sanders has turned Colorado into a brand powerhouse, and that walk wasn't just proof he's healthy. It was a reminder, if you play for me, the world will watch. That alone, worth 6 figures in future NIL money. In a time where everyone rushes to respond, Deion stays still, and that's what makes him so dangerous. When the hate got loud, he didn't clap back. He didn't post a rant. He didn't even correct the rumors. He let one clip do the work. It's the ultimate power move. Silence, followed by a controlled release. That's how legends move. They don't need to explain. They allow you to doubt them. So the comeback hits even harder. And now, the doubters don't know what to say, because you can't argue with presence, you can't spin footage, and you can't fake the calm of a man who's already 3 moves ahead. ESPN can analyze, Fox Sports can debate, Twitter can scream, but no one controls a narrative like Deion Sanders. He's been doing it since the 90s. Gold chains, press conferences, suits to practice, and now, viral clips without saying a word. This is his arena, because Deion doesn't play the media game. He bends it, he drops a single clip, and lets everyone else rush to interpret it. Is he okay? Is he planning something big? Was that a diss toward ESPN? Meanwhile, Prime says nothing, because he already said everything with that walk. That softness doesn't mean surrender. That silence isn't weakness. It's patience. It's strategy. It's Prime. Coach Prime isn't just coaching X's and O's. He's redefining what it means to be a man under pressure. Because how many men do you know who can walk calmly through the fire, refuse to explain themselves, and still own the room? That's what this moment showed. He didn't need a helmet or whistle, didn't need a suit or pregame speech. He just needed presence, and it's a lesson to every man watching. You don't need to yell to be respected. You don't need to fight every insult. Sometimes your silence is the loudest proof that you're still in control. If you enjoyed this, I'm going to be posting a lot here. I would greatly appreciate it if you could subscribe. Thanks for watching.